give you guys a stat, yeah? There are 2,700 billionaires in the world. And out of that...
God bless them, God bless them. My own come.
And out of that, only 15 are black. And out of that, 2 are female. We know them, Oprah, Rihanna. And if you think about it, the wealthiest black man in the world is Mr. Dangote, and he's the 70th billionaire in the world. So what's our problem? Like, what's the issue with black people and money?
Tell them.
Do you know what, as a community, we are so disjointed. One person learns how to make money and it's move in silence. We want to move in silence. We don't share the knowledge. So what happens is over time, one person rises, another person rises, and we clap. And sometimes the person rising isn't looking to pour that knowledge back. That's one of the main reasons that I can think of. What do you think?
Bro, I just think also you have to remember how much money is even being counted. Who's doing these stats? Some of our aunties and uncles have what under the bed? You know, that's not on no data. You know what I mean? But I think also from a reality, like what Deb said, I think if you want to go, want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. We are not together. Even your own mom and dad or your brother and sister, you might not even, you know what I mean? Lend me a $5, you're not on it. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like if we really want to win, we have to do a lot more together.
Okay, so going off the back of that, so I know in the UK, right, if you look at the wealthiest households, they tend to be white, Indian, Chinese. But when you look at the poorest households, most of them are either black or Pakistani. Now none of us can really talk about the Pakistani community like that, but in terms of the black community, why are we not making the money that the others are making? Like, we're not any less privileged than some white people. Like, what's the problem? What do you think the problem is?
This one's techie. Because at the end of the day, a lot of black people in our community, when we start off without having money and we get to a place where when we do have some Sika or L'argent or Naira, pounds, what do we do with it? The first thing is to buy cars, to buy trainers, and there's nothing wrong with these things. But when that's the first go-to and that's where most of the money goes, it causes problems. And a lot of us also don't know what to do with, if I gave the average black person 10 mil today, and I said, what would you do with it? I know I won't be happy with the answer. And it's not necessarily a problem on their side. Sometimes we just don't have the knowledge, right? Which is why community is so important, because community is also about spreading information about these things. And because we do have a problem in a community where a lot of us haven't worked in jobs where you're actively working on this stuff, who's bringing the information back?
Yeah, and I think again, a lot of these stats. So the stat you're talking about is taken from a census quite a few years ago. We haven't done a recent census, so a lot of these stats are changing. Like every day, I sit down with wealthy black people that are doing really well and moving forward. I think you're comparing apples and pears, because you have to understand that a lot of these communities were established way before us. Johnny's not sending money back to Leeds. Do you see what I'm saying? My man's here. Do you understand? So you have to understand we are disconnected from our roots, from our ancestors. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So us comparing here when we're also thinking about back there and so forth isn't really a fair comparison.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, the mentality, I personally think, amongst black people is still wrong, regardless of like our backgrounds and having to send money home. Like, I remember I coach basketball sometimes, and when I speak about, okay, when you become, or if you become like a basketball player or whatever, what's the first thing you're gonna do? They want to buy a Rollie, they want to buy this car, and they're young. These are like 11-year-old kids. They're not, where's that come from? Like, what is that obsession with trying to look rich when you're not? Like, who are we forming for?
I don't understand. You say, where's it come from? Isn't it not? I go to church on Sunday, you'll get a new car, but when they're doing final prayer, you're sneaking out to bring your car to the front of church, let everyone see. You wear your best clothes to church, no? So then now you say, where's it coming from? It's coming from the parents that gave it to us in the first place. It's for us now to understand and do stuff different. And I think there's nothing wrong with wanting these expensive things. It just shouldn't be the first. But who's taught us that our value comes from within? No, we've been taught that, we're not poor. My mom always say, we're not poor, even though we are poor. We are in the same, we are poor, but we're not poor. We're going to package. One thing we do very well, we package it. So we need to stop all the packaging and just be what we are, rather than package it as if we're something that we're not.
It's true. I think I've even had to learn from that because I spend about 80% of my life in Nigeria. The 20% is here. And I remember like I bought a new car for my birthday and I realized that the car is just sitting there. Nobody's using that car. It's literally collecting dust. Even when I came back, like the battery was dead because no one uses the car. It was only recently that I was like, you know what? While the car is idle, why didn't I put it on like different like Truro and all these car? For a year, I didn't do that thing because I was thinking, like I don't really want my car on. I don't want people using my car. My car has my name on it. I don't want people to know that I'm. I got to a point where I was listening. There's money to be made, but that's something that I had to teach myself because I remember when I was speaking to my dad about it. He's like, "Why would you want to go and be giving people your car? Why would you want to go and be?" Because I can make a lot of money from doing that, but I still feel like it's a mentality thing. Like I don't know so how do you think we can overcome that?
It's an education thing at the end of the day. They're not teaching a lot of this stuff in schools. A lot of people learn personal finance, are only learning now, right? And so setting up communities like Stock Pickers Academy, having more black financial advisors, it helps because now you can see someone that looks like you, who has worked in positions where they've managed money. I've managed billions for the firm. I've managed billions for the bank. Now I need to talk to someone how to manage 5K in their savings. And the way you manage 5K is very different from the way you manage 20 bill, 10 bill, 5 bill in the bank. And the books and the education out there teaches you how to manage a mil, 20 mil, and up from there. It doesn't really teach you what to do with 5K savings.
It's an interesting one because you said around education, and I think there's something powerful around starting early. Because how hard is it for you to understand money management when you're already paying bills and you don't understand that concept compared to when you're in school, right? Through life skills or, like you said, money management tools. So do you think there's something powerful there that we need to be doing earlier on instead of waiting till you go to university and you've racked up that debt?
Yeah, I think starting early is one thing, but I think also we have to understand where we're coming from. So for me personally, I was in the bank at 22. I was making more money than my dad, my uncles, all of them at 22. So what can they teach me?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
I'm dealing with things that they've never seen, never experienced. So where is the mentorship? Where are the people that we can, and that's where when we got something like Stock Pickers, where we can go into a group and we've got 6,000 people who are on this thing that you can message, does anyone know this? We can now become our own community, our own network. But we don't network. You make a little P. I speak to guys, they get their first job, they're already on Rightmove and Zoop, are looking to rent.
No, it's true.
You ain't got no dough. What are you doing? Do you understand? Out here, so it's a struggle mentality. I think what's really important is that what are our elders doing? I think sometimes as elders, are we going back and saying, look, speaking to the next generation? Because I know that when I was making money, I didn't want to hear my parents. I feel like, you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what it's here to be. You don't know what it's like to be here. What can you tell me? But when I got my elders in church that are just maybe 4 or 5, 10 years older than me, I respect them. They can talk to me. These are the types of things that need to be in place.
I have a question. Do you not think there's a difference between the way men and women perceive wealth?
Dubs, go first. I'm married. No, I'm married, yeah? Let me not get in trouble. Man's got a full wife. I love you. Hey, please, you talk.
Do you know what? It's a good question, but I'm going to go back to education. I'm always going to do that. 90% of my clients are black women. Mm-hmm. Of the ones that actually do the course for the mentoring are black women. Mm-hmm. Men want to go and learn themselves, and they'll only come after they've blown their account. Mm-hmm. When their portfolio has stew everywhere, that's when they want to come and learn. Yeah. Whereas I get ladies who've actually done really well by themselves come in and saying, I made money, but I didn't really have a strategy. So I'm expecting to see stew. And then they come and I'm seeing profits. Okay, that's a good starting point.
So you're basically saying that women are proactive and men are reactive. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I feel like women feel like they're behind and that men know how to do all this stuff, so they need to catch up. These times, men are spending money on dates. They're spending money on all kinds of things. I mean, I can't reveal information, but I look at the stocks portfolios and the guys is down there, the women is there, and I'm like, okay, you're not spending money, you're not spending your money.
Yeah, and it's different now. Like, right now, black women are out earning black men, facts, yeah? And so now, black men are now in a point where am I a man? Because a man has been told that he's a man by the money that he makes. So now women are making more money than you. Are you still a man? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Also, black women are more humble. They're more humble. Man can't tell me about money. I've been making money since Bro, you're broke. What money? What, because you can use credit card to go to the Ritz? That thing that makes you feel like we are valuing things like Nash, and it comes and goes. Man, I've seen man spend £1,000 on a date. You only lasting 10 minutes in the bed. What were you doing, bro? That's a bad investment. Just do the maths. It wasn't adding up. It wasn't worth it. This is not a good. If you know you're only a 10-minute guy, keep the coins low, bro. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's about making it make sense. Whereas I feel women are much more about, okay, I want to do better. But even then, they're having issues because women are making more money doing better. But now better of them are single. Better of my clients are women that are doing well are single.
I've had someone actually say to me, I find you intimidating because you have various incomes. What does that even mean? Like, firstly, it's not as if I've sat there and told you how much I'm earning from different things. But I've had, and it's not even someone, I've had a few people come and be like, I find you intimidating because either you earn too much or you're probably earning more than me. Like, does that bother you? Is that something that would bother you guys?
Not me personally. Not me personally.
Come on.
What?
Yeah, come
Do you care?
No.
Never.
Look at it this way. If I'm on 50, 60, 70, 80, 100K and I had a girlfriend and she's on $500,000, so what?
I care. Let me tell you why I care. Let me explain why I care, though. I'm not saying that when you first meet, you have to the girl has to be earning. It's not that. It's just at some point in my life, I'm going to go on maternity leave. So I feel like the guy.
Oh, you're saying you care?
I care.
Why?
I definitely care. I feel like the
Be
guy.
single, be single. When you get to 35, you start to be shaking.
No,
you get to 38.
Initially, it's fine. Like, we can be on the similar. But as in, if I'm earning this, you should be trying to earn this, and then we should be battling. Not that you're just.
No, but
chilling.
life happens.
And then if I go on maternity leave, who's going to cover everything? Because it ain't going to be me.
You're already earning what he will earn in 1 year and 5 years. How much maternity leave do you
What
need?
do you want to do? What do you want to do? You want to be able to have diamond
Our life should be the
raffle.
same when I'm on maternity leave. So I feel like the guy should be earning more at some point.
I feel personally, like we talk about other communities. I know bare white man that is full-time look after the kids because the wife makes nobody cares, nobody blinks. A black man and a black woman, the woman earns just 5K more. All of a sudden, man shaking. Like the man them are now in the WhatsApp group. You're now they've got a separate WhatsApp group just talking about you and the fact that your wife earns more money than you. Like I feel like we only want to take the little bits that can work. If we're going to look at other communities and see what they do, let's really understand what they are doing, how they're making it work. All this one income household in 2022, God will punish you. He's punished you already. You need at least 2 incomes in there. Why is she sitting at home looking at the walls when you can work from home? Remote jobs are there. So these are the things that we've got to make it make sense. You talked about maternity, but if you're in a job earning that type of money, your maternity can be 12 months, 18 months. You can even have flexible working to get back in there.
You're reflecting.
It's not needed.
Maybe, I think I've spent too much time in Africa, Nigeria, because there, the mentality is very much demand us absolutely everything. I don't agree with that. Like, I feel like it should be equal to an extent. Yeah, kind of. But in Africa, I feel like even in black communities, when I look at my parents, for example, my dad is Nigerian, like he was born and raised there. My mom, she was Nigerian, but she was born and raised here. So when she came back to the UK, it was easy for her to get a job. My dad he was on train, sleeping on train, he was doing the cleaning job, he was doing the cabin job, he was doing all those jobs that most of our parents probably did. And it was fine because my mom was earning more, but eventually, he overtook. So I just feel like this mentality, that I have personally, has come from the background that I'm from. And I think it's more of I want to say African, I don't know, I can't talk of Caribbean necessarily, but.
Well, we've got to make it make sense. So for example, right now there's a big push, black women in tech. Yeah? And tech jobs are making money. So if they're looking for black women in tech and you can't then, they're not looking for black men in tech. That's not a thing. Hashtag it doesn't exist. It's black women in tech. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
And it's not, yeah.
So those jobs are going to pay more and therefore you're going to have so why does it matter? If it's our money anyway. The point is, it's our lifestyle, our money, we are living. You're talking about African, then are you ready to have multiple wives? Are you ready to be one of many? So don't take the culture, bits and pieces that you like. If you want the African man and you want what you see back home, know that more money he makes, the more women are going to be around. If that's what you want, clap for it. If you don't want that, then let's cool down and let's make this English thing work here.
Okay, so what do you guys think is the next, like, what's your advice, I guess, to young black people of nowadays in terms of managing their money generally, and building that generational wealth that we probably didn't have growing up?
You know what? The first thing, you know what I'm going to say?
Education.
Listen. The person with the most information wins.
Yeah, facts.
Ultimately,
Facts.
right? A lot of people now, which is good to see, they're buying houses and putting the cockera, the keys on the gram, right? And they get the claps. And it's great. I love to see it. But then ask that same person, do you actually know how to use the crypto markets, the stock markets? Do you have a stock? 3% of people, here's a stat, 3% of people in the entire UK, black, white, all ethnicities, have a stocks and shares ISA. 3%. Wow. So imagine what percentage of that are black.
Yeah.
And a lot of, look, I'll be honest, I was a trader managing millions and billions. 7 years into my career, I didn't know what a stocks and shares ISA was. But I knew about the trading accounts, the quick Forex. I knew about where to find them and how to, but we didn't talk about this stuff. And the people who were also with me talking about this stuff knew about the stocks and shares ISA, but it was so standard to them that they didn't even need to bring it to the office.
No, I just think the next step is like what Dev says. Once you've got the education, it's ownership. But I think for us, if we really want to be serious, it's ownership in groups. This ownership in one is very, very. It's not. We're limiting ourselves. When I used to do mortgage broker, yeah. And when I was dealing with Asian clients, these men are buying three of them at once. And they're living in the one, they're buying another, then they got three, then they even buy the fourth, and then they rent out. Do you understand? You can move so much quicker together. That's property together. Business, all this one business. Even if you don't have the passion for the business, you got money. You're leaving your money in Barclays. Do you know Barclays don't have bank accounts for themselves? The bank does not use bank accounts. They take your money and they put it on the market and they make money overnight every single day on the money that's in those accounts. And then the rest, they lend it out at higher rates. The interest rates have gone up. You've seen it on mortgages. Is the same done for savings? No, they're very clever. The point being is that we've got to go together, because when we start putting our money together into businesses, we start putting our money into stocks, putting our money into property, ownership is what they're going to respect. You can march up and down this UK all you want. When you start owning land, they have to take you serious.
But I also feel like there's pressure and a bit of packaging there, because I feel like I'm always seeing on social media people with the key in the front of their property. So other young people, I guess, have that pressure to buy their first home, when in actual fact, like, you're probably not financially stable enough to buy it, but you feel like you have this pressure to do it, and then you go and buy rubbish, or you end up making mistakes, or you end up investing in things and losing loads of money.
Do you know what? People don't worry about that risk when it's buying Jordans.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah?
No,
When it's the consumables, people
don't care. Afro Nation got cancelled and everybody was complaining when they launched the next one. Tickets was being bought. Nobody's saying it's risky investment. Nobody's saying it's risky.
Sold out.
You understand? It's sold out like that.
Look.
But the market goes down. Everybody's taking their money out. Everybody's selling. Oh, this is a scam. It's a scam.
You are in it for the wrong reasons.
So what's the right reasons?
I feel like regardless of what you choose to invest in, whether it's property, crypto, stocks, or a combination, have the information. Then whatever decision you make is informed. My job is just to make sure that whatever you do with your money is as informed as possible. And it's not just me. I've got my old bosses in the group. I've got people I used to work with in the group. I've got other black professionals who are currently, my brother's a trader. I've got so many people in the group that even in my absence, I know that the group is calm. It's free. It's a free group.
I tell people there are 365 days in a year. Why do you only get paid on 12 of them? Bruv, if you scored 12 out of 365 on the test, can you even go and show your parents? The beating will be... But this is what we do. They are free. Listen, every day is a day you can make money. Why are you waiting for one day in a month? Even your bills don't come out one day. They're coming out sporadically. You're even scared to open your app. You don't even want to know what you're going to see in there. It has to change. People are like, I hate budgeting. You don't hate budgeting. You ain't got no income. When you got money, budgeting is beautiful. Because you are broke. Understand your problem. Your problem is not the budget. Your problem is the lack of income. You sort that one out. The budgeting is fine.
I think we need to be a little bit fair to the people as well, because there is imposter syndrome. Yeah. Right? Not just on the career front in the workplace, but when it comes to investing. I know a guy who literally had $500 million just sitting there as cash because he's scared to put money in the market. He's scared to
You
lose
can't
that
put
one.
1% of that $500 million.
Some of the people with the most money are literally afraid to just lose a little bit.
I don't.
They're the most
Right.
risk averse.
That some of them are the most risk averse. But okay, you're risk averse, but do you know that you can put it in on a fixed income bond, on a government bond, right? And literally earn a tiny bit of interest, but still better than leaving your money in the bank. So within all the different asset classes, there's so many different ways you can tailor your investing style to yourself.
So on that note, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you both for coming. We've really enjoyed the nuggets, the tips, the things that we needed. We are The Hustle Table. You can find us at The Hustle Table on pretty much any platform. I'm going to let you guys plug yourselves. Where can people find you? Where can people come to you? Where can people get the education that they need?
Tell them.
Yeah, so Man Like Debs, personal coach Debs, Stock Pickers Academy, follow me, everything's there, link in bio. You can find me on LinkedIn as well, Akindebodun Osekita.
Yeah, at the E-Man Effect on all social, at the E-Man Effect UK on all socials, and then Emmanuel Asuquo on LinkedIn. And yeah, man, just get in contact and let's do this.